Corporation as a successor to the long-standing Montana Power Company really was a tough hustle. We were really happy that the board of directors chose a Montanan with a vision for this state, a Montanan for this company, a vision for this company, and someone who's going to, near and dear to me, protect and expand and grow the jobs here in the headquarters in Butte. I will ask you to help me in welcoming back to the stage Bob Rowe, CEO of the NorthWestern Energy Corporation.
Secretary Chu is in a car on his way, so I'm afraid you're going to have to put up with me for just a couple of minutes. I really did appreciate that introduction. I have to say it's been personally a thrill for me to get to work with a company that I very much believe in, employees I believe in, and it's a thrill to come to work in Butte. I had one of my grandfathers worked in the Anselmo mine until he was in his 70s. I actually have his framed ACM card on my wall at home, and I'm very proud of that and proud to be part of the community here in Butte. Two themes I'd like to touch on. Senator Baucus laid out his three rules. I think we were all very well behaved, but two ideas that certainly are important to me and I think to probably most people doing business in Montana. The first, consistency, civility, continuity in what we're trying to do. And it's tremendous to see the political leaders, policymakers at the national and at the state level work together as closely as what we've seen, particularly with Senator Baucus, Senator Tester, Governor Schweitzer, other political leaders who've been in attendance here. It's really very exciting. And that's the kind of environment that we need to make long-term investments, to make commitments. And I know that's something that's very important to all of you. Another theme is sustainability. I touched on it in terms of how our employees think about NorthWestern Energy and the idea of a sustainable business plan, sustainable financial model, sustainable investment in our employees, and environmental sustainability. Certainly Secretary Chu will be talking about that. And if you think about the history of these economic development summits over the years, probably a lot of us have been at every one of these meetings. Everyone has had a little bit different flavor. One meeting, the focus might be more on broadband. We've talked a lot over the years about the relationship between rural and urban areas, the idea of core developments in particular areas, hubs, on and on. And those are all ideas that have continued to prosper in the Montana economy, but ultimately the idea that Senator Baucus has a sustainable commitment to this project, to the economy, the vitality of our communities, and we see the results year over year. And certainly all of the discussion, exchanging business cards, discussion in the hallway, as well as the great speakers that we've heard over the last day and a half are a big part of all that. So congratulations to all of you for the great work that you've been doing over the last 2 days and the enthusiasm with which you are going to leave this hall. I'm not sure whether we have a speaker yet or not, so that he can come right on the stage. I think maybe the best thing to do is go ahead and introduce him. He's already heard his many accomplishments over the years. Before I do that, again, just one final thank you to Senator Baucus. He's helped make Montana not just the last best place, but also truly for all of us a better place. And we're very fortunate, all of us who live here. And again, one more time, thank you, Max, and thanks to all of Mac's incredibly hardworking staff who have labored for months to do their day jobs and get this done. So again, thanks to all of them. Now, it really is exciting to hear the final keynote of what has already been a remarkable conference. Dr. Stephen Chu was appointed as the 12th Secretary of Energy by President Obama, who said, and I'm quoting, His appointment should send a signal to all that my administration will value science, will make decisions based on facts, and we understand that the facts demand bold actions. Dr. Chu has devoted his recent scientific career to the search for new solutions to our energy challenges and to addressing global climate change, a mission he continues with even greater urgency as Secretary of Energy. Secretary Chu brings to his position a lifetime of scientific achievement and leadership. In 1997, Dr. Chu, I think as we all know, shared the Nobel Prize in Physics for his fundamental research in the cooling and trapping of atoms with laser light. As a professor, he chaired the Department of Physics at Stanford University and initiated with others the BioX, a multidisciplinary research program bringing together the physical, biological, and applied sciences and engineering to address problems in medicine. As director of the Department of Energy's Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory, one of our nation's key research institutions, Dr. Chu guided the lab to pursue new alternative and renewable energies, including spearheading Project Helios to harness fuels from sunlight. Today, as Secretary, he is charged with helping implement President Obama's ambitious agenda to promote clean energy sources, reduce our dependence on foreign oil, address the global climate crisis, and cut carbon pollution and create millions of jobs. I've had the privilege of hearing Dr. Chu speak. He's been very forthcoming in meeting with those from the utility sector, talking through the many challenges that we all face. I think it's fair to say that his approach is not to favor one particular strategy, but to say that we need to really continue to research and develop a wide array of strategies. And what you're about to hear will be a very challenging presentation based on what I've heard before. I don't think Dr. Chu will blind us with science, but he will certainly make the science accessible and compelling. So do we have a speaker?
So we're not going to let you off the hook just yet there, Bob.
You're not going to tell jokes, are you?
Even though there's, no, I think the public really understands my inability to tell jokes, but don't have very little traffic in Butte, but apparently because it's just a bulging metropolis with this summit, the Secretary's in the building, and he's getting prepared, but he needs a couple more minutes, and so I thought that we'd put Bob on the spot while we're waiting for the administrator. And so, Bob, you made some comments earlier today about the future of the company. I wondered if you could elaborate a little bit on the things you mentioned about some of the investments that are on the drawing boards, particularly in the renewables, and how the company, again, through recent legislative efforts, but wanting to get back to a vertically integrated utility again so we can match up your core business of delivering the energy with getting back to building that energy, and maybe touch on a little bit how to do that in today's environment with climate change.
Sure. I certainly wish.
Now, when you get that done, we'll have a couple more questions for you.
I thought we were friends. Seriously, the most important point I made is that I think our vision and mission, really written by our employees, matches up with where our employees want to go. I think matches up with where the majority of our customers want to go. And we've had great support from the legislature, the governor, the Public Service Commission in going that direction. Priority number one, again, is the physical infrastructure. We are focusing on that very sharply in the supply area. And remember, those of you who buy supply from us, the deregulatory model was that we would all be harassed by folks selling us natural gas and electricity with evening phone calls, just as we are for, or we used to be for long-distance phone service. That wasn't a sustainable approach for most of our customers to purchase energy, and it wasn't the sustainable business model for our utility. And you've seen the result over the years, particularly volatility in natural gas prices. we will never go completely back to providing all of the power that our customers use. Large customers have had their trials and tribulations, but certainly will stay on the market. So we are, and we will continue to buy long-term and short-term contracts. Our goals in the supply planning area, and we've actually just filed a new supply plan with the Montana Commission, are long-term stability, diversity of resources. We've been factoring in climate risk into our supply planning process, or the risks associated with possible legislation, carbon tax, since before I came to the company. That said, we are concerned about long-term stability, diversity, and price impact for customers. In the supply area, again, Colstrip 4, our interest there, a plant that has been rebuilt from the inside out. It is up and running. It seemed to me the right thing to do to have that dedicated to Montana customers. On top of that, Mill Creek as a resource that allows us to integrate more and more diverse resources. We're out now acquiring, we hope to acquire renewables, particularly wind. We're interested in other projects as well. The challenge from a customer perspective is to try to bring those resources in at a price that is defensible to customers. And that's a tough challenge. And there are strategies at the state and national level that can help get that done. Again, on the natural gas side, you've seen huge volatility in your gas prices. Our goal is to help manage through that, again, by potentially acquiring gas reserves. On the energy efficiency side, we had what I called a Chautauqua here at Montana Tech just a couple of months ago with the PhD economist who was the primary author of the National Science Foundation's Energy Future project looking at efficiency. So we are passionate about that as a resource. Again, you have to have policies in place to justify the investment to really move towards more sustainable business approaches. At the national level, we have been, since we do not own the dams anymore, and we are on the market, our profile, our carbon footprint is not what it was in the Montana Power days. What we've tried to advocate is factoring in customer impacts in particular, and have advocated strategies that we refer to as cap and invest. There's talk about cap and trade, cap and dividend. What we've said is let's, again, figure out a way to deal with price impacts on customers and promote the most cost-effective investment strategies possible in supply. Does that answer your question? Perfect. Thank you. Do we have a speaker? Dr. Chu, you missed your introduction. I did mention that I've had the pleasure of hearing you speak a number of times, and you were very compelling and insightful, and we all look forward to hearing from you over the next period of time. And welcome to Montana.
All right. Thank you. Pleasure to be here. And let me just begin. I get to fiddle around. I can pretend I'm a rock singer. Okay. In any case, I want to talk about the energy opportunity that Montana and the United States have. And it's something near and dear to my heart. But before I do that, I'd like to make two predictions. And even before I do that, I'd like to remind you of what the great American philosopher of the 20th century said. Just in case you're wondering who that is, it's Yogi Berra, catcher for the New York Yankees. And what he said was, predictions are hard to make, especially about the future. So it's a warning, you can take this with a grain of salt or not. Okay, what are the predictions? I think the price of oil will be higher in the coming decades.